Hello and welcome to Daily News Analysis by Abid Shiksha. Today is 21st of January 2023 and this is the list that we'll be covering. So you can see one important day. This is Statehood Day for 3 states that we'll be covering. Then there are certain schemes and guidelines from national point of view, so polity. Then you have certain news again from cultural and current affairs. Then from at the bottom you can see these two. These are from the defense section. Okay. All right. So let's begin with the first one. The first one is the Statehood Day. So 3 states, that is Meghalaya, Manipur, and Tripura, are celebrating their statehood today. Today is 21st of January. So 21st of Jan 1972, these 3 states were fully made as states. Now, important things we have to know from here is the State Reorganization Act that incorporated Princely Kingdom of Manipur and Tripura. They were princely states before, so they became UTs, which is Union Territories, by this State Reorganization Act 1949. Then over the years they had a demand to be included as state. So this amendment, 14th Constitutional Amendment 1962, made them UTs. Okay, so they were princely states. They were incorporated into India by this State Reorganization Act 1949, and by the 14th Constitutional Amendment Act 1962, Tripura and Manipur became Union Territories. Right? Then, by 22nd Constitutional Amendment 1969, Meghalaya, which was part of Assam, became an autonomous state within a state. Okay, autonomous state within the state of Assam, and the 6th schedule was implemented. By 1971, all the states wanted to be full-fledged states. So this act, the Northeastern Areas Reorganization Act 1971, made them full-fledged states in 1972. So just remember, 1972, these 3 states got their statehood. Now, all this reorganization act, state reorganization act, and alteration of boundaries of a previous state like Assam, all this falls under the Article 3 of the Indian Constitution. So Article 3 states that formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries, or names of existing states will be made by Parliament, by law. So by this, you can increase any state, increase the area of any state, diminish the area of any state, and alter the boundaries of any states, provided that no bill for this purpose, for creation or diminishing, alteration, provided it is to be introduced on the recommendation of the president. Without the president's recommendation, this cannot be done. Okay, so just go through this news, go through the article, connect the stories, connect the line. Okay. In the next news, we have this scheme called EPCG Scheme, and the news reads, relax for sectors affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Now, EPGC scheme is Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme. This is a trade promotion scheme which was implemented by the Indian government, and it is under the foreign trade policy. It is governed by foreign trade policy and administered by Director General of Foreign Trade, that is DGFT. Okay, the scheme actually aims to encourage the production of goods for export. And how by the government providing import duty concessions on capital goods. Okay, so those who are enrolled in the scheme, they get concessions, the import duty concessions, right? Now this scheme has been relaxed for certain sectors like hotel, healthcare, and educational sectors because of the pandemic. So they don't have to pay any composition fees uh, provided, and they don't have to have this maintenance of average export obligation, which is under the scheme. Now, for those sectors that are not under this relaxation program, they will have to uh, they don't have to pay the composition fee. Here is written without payment of composition fees, but an additional 5% export obligation they will have to maintain. Okay, that's what the news is saying by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So go through the scheme once again when you have when you're going through your notes. Again, this one is from PIB. The last one also was from PIB. The good thing about PIB is it includes all the details that you need, the exact details. You don't have to read too much. So I recommend reading PIB or Press India Bureau news or releases. It helps you understand what government is trying to do in various sectors. Okay, so this is Center has released an endorsement guidelines called Endorsement Know-Hows for celebrities, influencers, and virtual influencers on social media platforms. Now, those who are planning to be an influencer or social media influencer, you have to know these guidelines very well, because now you cannot just endorse a product without following these guidelines. The guideline states that to ensure that individuals do not mislead their audiences when endorsing products or services, okay, and they are in compliance with the Consumer Protection Act as per the guidelines. You might have seen a lot of endorsements, particularly a lot of financial advertisements where they say financial risk at your own terms, like that, right? So that thing, that statements are written very small, in a very small manner, and it has a blurred effect. So you don't exactly read what is it, but you just hear what they're saying, but they don't read the whole thing, right? So this guidelines, they are specifying that disclosures such as those, I'm just taking an example, like drinking alcohol is injurious to health, so they minimize the text at the bottom, right? So the disclosures such as those has to be prominent and clearly displayed in the endorsement, so that it is hard to miss for the audiences. Now, any celebrity, influencer, or virtual influencer who has an access to such audience can actually influence purchasing decisions or opinions, right? So that's why they are also liable for this if they do not follow these guidelines, right? So that's what the guidelines is saying. Now, endorsement must be made in simple and clear language. So you can use advertisement, sponsored, or paid promotion, right? So these are the simple languages. It should not mislead. Basically, the aim is to not mislead audiences, right? And and one more thing you have to understand is the Consumer Protection Act of 2019, right? So the act was established for protecting consumers from unfair trade practices and misleading advertisements. Okay, so this new guidelines for social media influencers and agencies. So I hope by this there will be an improvement in the ads, because we see a lot of nonsensical ads also in Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. So this will streamline such ads. Again, bringing the news from PIB. This is on the National SC ST Hub Conclave. So this conclave will be held at Mumbai, at World Trade Center, Cuff Parade, Mumbai. It is organized by Union Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Right? The aim is to promote the culture of entrepreneurship among members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities, and to spread awareness of this hub and other schemes of MSME ministry. Okay. So the conclave will aim, to help all these SCs and ST communities to better leverage the benefits offered under the hub and schemes and programs of Ministry of MSME. Now, many current and future entrepreneurs from Mumbai and surrounding areas are willing to participate. Now, as per the General Manager of National Small Industries Corporation Limited, the main goal of the conclave is to help achieve the sub-target of 4% annual procurement from MSEs owned by SC or ST entrepreneurs. Important is SC or ST entrepreneurs. So 4% annual procurement, like any product it could be. So that will help all these communities a lot, right? Now, he also informed that entrepreneurs from SC and SC community and the public procurement, basically procurement from these entrepreneurs, have risen from 0.04% to 0.7%, which is a huge jump if you look at the numbers properly. And he informed that MSME sector consists of more than 6 crore units and employs more than 11 crore people. So imagine how much the small, small, medium enterprises are employing in the country. So this MSME sector is next only to agriculture, right, in providing the largest employment. So the sector significantly contributes to the economic growth of our country, right? Here it's written nearly 30% of contribution to GDP, okay, and more than 45% contribution to overall exports from India. So imagine the amount of MSME companies or enterprises they're providing to the export and contributing to GDP also. So this is very, very important sector for Indian economy. So therefore, if we also help the SC and ST communities, definitely there will be more increase in employment, more increase in the economy cycle, right? So there will be a lot of training programs in the conclave that will be provided to SC and ST entrepreneurs. Then reimbursement of up to 80% for loan processing charges. So if anyone takes loan, the government is willing to reimburse that loan also. Then bank guarantee charges, reimbursement of these charges. Then registration with export promotion councils, which is that under the scheme of EPCG, which we have already discussed in the previous slide. Then other forms of assistance, particularly financial and other skill training programs, right? Now, National SC ST Hub is implemented by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises to provide what? Professional support to SC ST entrepreneurs and promote inclusive growth. Okay, right. So here we have a news from the Hindu and the Assam Tribune, two news actually. So Wayanad becomes the first district in the country to provide basic documents basic documents and facilities such as Aadhaar card, ration card, birth certificates or death certificates, election ID card, bank account, and health insurance to all people from different tribes. Basically, to all tribes people at Wayanad. This is the picture you can see. So all the tribal peoples in the district of Wayanad has all the basic documents. So therefore, the district becomes the first to provide all the basic documents to all tribal people. Right? It's a very small news. Then on the other side, we have the second edition of Momentum Northeast. This has been organized here in Guwahati, right? And the objective is to make Assam the gateway to ASEAN countries, right? So the discussion is on that, and there are certain dignitaries like Jigme Thinle Namgyal, who is the Consul General at Royal Bhutanese Consulate General that is in Guwahati. Then we also have Mr. Rahul Amin, who is Assistant High Commissioner of Bangladesh, right? So Assam is at a very middle point between ASEAN and India. So it can improve a lot of trade in the region. It will help growth of economy, growth of basically development of a lot of industries, and particularly towards the tourism industry. Also, since Assam is also at the juncture between the Himalayan countries such as Bhutan and the ASEAN countries, so we can also provide good medical facilities. If the infrastructure is developed, we can also provide medical facilities to all these countries, all our neighboring countries as well. So Assam can actually become a gateway to ASEAN countries and help in the economy of India. Now here from Assam Tribune again, we have Education Minister. He has inaugurated the Rupkonwar Utsav 2023 at Jorhat Theatre Auditorium. Now this Rupkonwar Utsav is organized for the first time outside Srimanta Shankardev Kalakshetra Guwahati premises. Okay, this is for the first time they're organizing outside Guwahati, and it was always under the aegis of Srimanta Shankardeva Kalakshetra Samaj. Now with Jorhat District Administration and Jorhat Theatre, which is a renowned cultural organization established over 125 years. Okay, so they have brought this Rupkonwar Utsav to Jorhat for the first time outside of Guwahati. So this is a drama festival. Then on the other side, we have Aaranyak, which is an NGO working for wildlife. So this Aaranyak's laboratory, this wildlife genetics laboratory, they are providing forensic DNA analysis support to Ramoyana National Park. Right? Where is Ramoyana National Park? Comment down below if you know the answer. Right? So Ramoyana National Park is the 6th national park of Assam. Here you can read 6th national park of Assam, and it was inaugurated on World Environment Day, June 5th, 2021. Now, what is this news about? So this forensic DNA analysis, why is it important? Let's suppose some illegal smugglers or poachers, they kill some wildlife, and they cut the meat and store it in their packets, and they leave out of the state. On the way to somewhere else, wherever they're going, they're stopped by police, and the police ask, what is this meat? They can just say this is chicken or this is pork, right? So how do you identify all that? So for that, you need forensic DNA analysis, like how it is done with people when to identify a dead body. So this forensic DNA analysis support Aaranyak is providing to Ramoyna National Park. So they have been associated with wildlife crime and supporting the forensic DNA analysis with the Forest Department, Assam Forest Department, since 2014. Now their plan is also to extend support, this type of support to Arunachal Forest Department. Then we have Pakke Wildlife Sanctuary Division, right? And they are also trying to push the support particularly towards other national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in the northeast as well. So this wildlife genetics laboratory of Aaranyak is first of its kind also, first of its kind facility in northeast India, right? So they are the pioneer of forensic DNA analysis for wildlife crime. Now coming to PIB again, the last two slides will be from the defense sector. So Ministry of Defense has released this. Here you can read Indian shipguard, Coast Guard ships, Shaurya and Rajbir. They are on a 6-day visit to Chattogram, Bangladesh. From when? From 13th to 19th. They were in Bangladesh for what? To have a exercise, a 5-day International Maritime Organizational Level 1 course on pollution response for the first time in Bangladesh. Okay, so Indian Coast Guards are training Bangladesh Coast Guards on pollution response, and these two ships, ICGS Shaurya and Rajbir, were involved. Now this exercise is on the provisions of the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed between India and Bangladesh Coast Guard. Okay, now this will certainly bolster the environmental protection initiatives by the respective governments. And finally, we have this another news from the defense sector. This is the inaugural edition of Indo-Egypt Joint Training Exercise, which is called Cyclone 1. Okay, so this is the first ever joint exercise between the special forces of Indian Army and the Egyptian Army, right? This is being held at Jaisalmer, Rajasthan since 14th of January. This is a 14 days long exercise. So what will this exercise be about? So to advance special forces skills such as sniping, combat, free fall, all this, right? So you can see an image here. This is the special forces. So this will also further strengthen the diplomatic relations between India and Egypt. So this is the first exercise between India and Egypt as well. Okay, so with this we are at the end of this analysis for today. So thank you for joining this session. We'll see you tomorrow.